Well, here we are in sunny Brisbane for Australia's one and only truck event, the Brisbane Truck Show. With more than 30,000 people expected to attend the 4-day event, it's certainly one of the first and biggest events since COVID-19 hit our shores. Australia's road transport industry has pulled the country through the worst global pandemic, keeping our cities and regional communities supplied with essential goods. That is why this year's truck event is perhaps the most brightest and most celebrated, attracting many exhibitors showcasing their latest and greatest products. Join us as we check out the big name brands and chat to some of the key players within the industry. Well, with us today is the man himself, the CEO of Heavy Vehicle Industry Australia, Todd Hacking. Thank you so much for finding the time during the busy schedule to join us for a little chat. Can you explain to us what's it been like making this all happen, especially during the pandemic? Did you see it all coming together?
It's been incredible. It really has. It's an amazing show. And the general public and the industry comes through today and for the next 4 days, and they see everything in place. But when we get on site, it's just plain concrete, and it takes a lot of hard work to turn it into this. It's an around-the-clock effort. We've got about 3,000 contractors working around the clock. There's 1,100 truck movements down a single access road to build it. There's 40 plus forklifts involved. There's a dozen elevated platforms. There's 6 boom lifts. It really is just an incredible experience to see it. And of course, there's 8,000 to 10,000 carpet tiles as well. So individually laid, it really does take a lot of effort to bring a show like this together. But we couldn't do that without the members and the exhibitors. And I think particularly in a COVID year and a pandemic year, it's been really pleasing to see how they have just embraced it and they've wanted this to happen so bad. And it's just been great to see them come together and not only build the show, because the exhibition staff, they haven't done any of this for 12 months either. So it was really heartwarming to see them get together. And now we're here. It's really important for the industry, and it's going to be a fabulous 4 days, and we're really, really excited.
So what do you think this will mean for industry morale, especially over the last 18 months of no action whatsoever?
Yeah, well, the industry's been busy. They
have, but there's been no events as such.
Yeah, so there hasn't been any events. So it's great that they can come together, and we held our first event, connected to the show last night. There was 50 or 60 people in the room. Even that was foreign for some of those executives and some of those people that hadn't been on a plane, who haven't travelled, who haven't been to an event. So just to do that was an experience for them. Getting on a plane again was an experience for them.
Yep.
Again, these are people that were travelling every single week, multiple times a week, and then haven't for 12 months. So all of that has been unique, and now we're here in this room having this sort of a function. It's taken a lot of planning and a lot of safeguards, and obviously our COVID safe plan. It's a different show. There's some stuff that we've had to do differently this time, but it's also fantastic, and it's really important for the industry, because driving a truck can be a lonely task, and there's a lot of kilometres, there's a lot of nights away from the family in the cab, and to be able to come to an event like this and to catch up with your peers, to mingle, to network, to engage, to learn how other people do it. It's so important to come together, and it's really important to touch base with the manufacturers on what they're releasing and why they're doing it and what the future is.
So what are we talking about, Todd? How many exhibitors are here, and what can we expect? What are some of the new announcements, new releases? What is so exciting about it this year?
All right, well, you might have to come to the show to find out those new products and releases. There's a lot going on this
What's the highlight?
Show. I think the highlight for me is just the, increase in the alternative fuel space. In 2019, we started to see it. A couple of exhibitors were starting to show some stuff, and now I think almost everyone has something on their stand that has a new product, or this is where we're going, or this is what our research is telling us. This is where our heads are thinking. This is the way we're moving. So I think that's a really interesting space. And it doesn't matter whether it's electrification or hydrogen, there's something here for everyone in that space. So I think that's really important. In terms of the number of exhibitors, we're at 287 exhibitors this year. We're completely sold out, we're completely full from an exhibitor point of view, and you just have to look around. It's just fantastic to see the lengths that these companies go to display their brand and their products and make it shine and look great. And they're pumped and we're pumped, and we can't wait for a bumper show.
So what year is this now? What are we up to?
We started in 1968. It's our 53rd year of running the show, and that first show we had 21 exhibitors at Hallmark Trailers in Rockley, and so now we're nearly at the 300 mark, and this entire building. And to be honest, we need another building like this. You know, I can't hang trucks from the ceiling, unfortunately, or trailers, but we could very much increase the footprint. So that's a challenge for us moving forward, but it's just great to see everyone come together.
And just lastly, how different is this year compared to 2 years ago?
Well, I guess the difference is it's not really different. There's a few key brands that are missing, and they will come back. And we understood, that during a pandemic year, during COVID, it was tough. It's a lot of money. Yeah. It's a lot of money to spend, and it was uncertain times. And even last week there was some level of uncertainty. With a case in Sydney and then in Melbourne. Yeah. So we get it, and so that is why there's probably half a dozen key brands that are missing, but everyone else is in, and everyone else increased their footprint and increased their exhibition size so that we could put on a full show, and that's been incredible. Like the support and the loyalty that we've had from our exhibitors has been absolutely amazing. They know how important this show is to them, and we know how important it is, and it's just really heartening to see so many brands doing such an amazing job. Yeah. And we're all pumped and excited, as I said.
Awesome. So finally, especially after the last 18 months that we've had, what is your key message to those operators and manufacturers and just everybody within the industry?
I think the key message has been that I think COVID's been obviously awful, and for the heavy vehicle industry, for the trucking industry, it's actually made the community more aware of the supply chain. So they now really understand that there isn't a toilet paper fairy that just drops toilet paper on the shelves. There's a product, there's a supply chain that is required to get that product from the manufacturer to the shelf. And heavy vehicles are involved all along the way. So I think the community embraces that, they now understand it, and I think it's inherent on us to now build on that reputation and that profile and that improved perception of the industry, and do things that we're showcasing here. So, showcasing that sustainability, trying to reduce your carbon footprint, trying to increase your productivity, releasing technology and innovation that's improving safety. They're the key pillars that the community want us to do, and we do it a lot. We just don't tell that story. So it's really key to take what we do in here and tell it out there. So one of the main things that we've done that's different is that whole activation in South Bank, that South Bank Truck Festival, and the Jobs Hub and the truck and trailer display along Little Stanley Street. We've got a spectacular water laser vision show. It's going to be absolutely amazing.
So it's about boosting community morale as well, and this is much needed.
Boosting community morale, but boosting industry morale as well. I think it's really important. The heavy vehicle industry should be extraordinarily proud of what they did over the last 16 months in keeping Australia moving. We're incredibly proud of them. We want to tell that story, and through mechanisms like yourself, we hope to get that story out there. So thank you very much for coming and showing an interest in telling that story.
Thank you for putting it all together.
My pleasure.
It's such a pleasure to be back again.
I hope you enjoyed the show.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Cheers.